Hello dear traders. For today's session I decided to cover gold market. I will speak about the euro versus US dollar and Australian versus US dollar. I'll also touch the pound versus US dollar. So I will do updates on the analysis and opportunities that I recommended in my previous days. So basically almost all of them, not all of them actually went into the objectives, into the first objectives, and there is still plenty more to come. So starting with the gold chart, this is a gold chart on the daily time frame, and I marked this and I basically posted this and alerted you about this in my previous forecast. And I said that there was we are basically on the 3-month cycle where we could expect tops to form, and top to form around somewhere beginning with June 3rd, June 4th. And after we got a breakout of this drifting phase, there was a big sell-off which actually confirmed there is indeed tons of sellers in the lack of the buying power. And we got a few days back and there was a resell phase from the sellers. The FOMC basically just boosted this moment and boosted basically the US dollar index, and literally everything which is against the everything related to the dollar, so euro dollar traded absolutely downside. Yesterday was a 1% drop, today another 0.5% drop. Pound got a drop, gold got a drop. Today's already 0.8% more further drop. Yesterday was also approximately 1.5, 1.6% drop. So what I can see here basically that I see no reason that gold, for the gold not to test the zone around 1756.55 and ultimately to trade again around the 1678. So there is a plenty of the space for the downside on the gold, and basically selling on the rallies will be preferable strategy on the gold. So far, gold is trading near the lowest low point, the lowest point for the day. And in terms of the opportunity, right now is not good to establish any sell. You should wait for a maybe rally, maybe 1 or 2 day rallies, or just intraday rally on the 15-30 minute time frame to scalp a bit on the short side. If you're holding sell position based on analysis that I recommended, and so if you're holding position from 1880 or so, you can eventually scale half your position, maybe even scale full position here, or maybe you can also bring the stop loss much lower and secure a good portion of profit, and then still add this for a further drop towards the 1755 and 1679. Speaking of the euro dollar, let me just go with my profile chart using the MT4 platform InstaForex. I recommended to watch this like a critical resistance area, and there is a tons of the selling from last Friday, and basically when the price retested this, I found that the buyers basically didn't have any big power, and the price basically back into the point of control. That happened actually 2 days ago, and then what happens is just a sell-off and just a continuation of that selling power from Friday. They continued basically also during the FOMC. So if you traded and anticipated this event, this will be absolutely a home run position, since the price got a drop about 200 pips since our yesterday's update. Right now, if I go and check the euro dollar, I also marked on the euro dollar that we'd have a 5-day cycle for the tops. You see that every 5 days since the beginning of the May, every 5 days we will have a short-term top, the breakout, the trend line, short-term top. The supply trend line was active. I said there was a pretty bearish. We also marked together the recent swing lows back in this stage, and then we got the strong downside. We reached both targets, 1.2050 and 1.1985. So obviously there is a plenty of potential still. Again, it's a very extreme right now zone, so it's not I'm not recommending you to do at this stage or a downside. So it's just if you're holding this short, there is a one pivot area here where we stop right now around 1.1920, but obviously the major low and the low from end of the March, which basically got around 1.1710. So I can say this is a strong momentum. I see no reversals at this stage, so there is a plenty of potential, and selling on the rallies will still prefer a strategy. If you're still holding a short position, you can scale some, you can move on the break even, you can move your stop loss to secure a good portion of profit and let this still for a further drop. And I'll also, Canadian dollar did a great job on this rally we spoke about. The price basically got sellers totally lost their power. They exhausted themselves there, and we got a breakout and a pullback. That was a pretty nice and clean play there. I recommended that. And if you check the profile chart, that was a pretty clean. We broke the massive ledge from the bottom on the left side. We broke that on Friday, got a consolidation day, a pullback and test into the Monday's low, around Monday's low, and from there buyers actually went absolutely strong, and then they just continue with the FMC. And since that area there was a move about 200 pips on the upside direction. First objective was just middle range of this. We broke through that on FMC 1.2220, and obviously also reached this upper ledge area 1.2275, and with a pretty imbalanced regime, so good for profit taking. So plenty of still potential. The dollar index, let me just touch that. I will go through the dollar index chart. This is basically my dollar index chart. If you go to the daily time frame, we found together basically we got a falling wedge, and at the end of that falling wedge we got basically some consolidation, the breakout, a pullback, one pullback, second pullback, and there we go. Probably I see no reason for the US dollar index to not reach this 93.35, 36 area. I think that we can have some still tons of potential for the rally in the next period, and the strength on the US dollar.